testimony of targeted torture using directed energy weapons, voice-to-skull technology, and acoustic modulation. My name is Daniel May. I am from Wells next the sea, Norfolk, England. This is my testimony about years of torture and harassment using advanced, covert technologies, including directed energy weapons, voice-to-skull technology, and acoustic modulation. I am writing this to document my experience in detail, to warn others, and to seek help in holding those responsible accountable. Background. For years, I have been subjected to sustained, systematic attacks designed to harm me physically, psychologically, and emotionally. This abuse has not been random or accidentally, has been consistent, sophisticated, and clearly designed to cause maximum suffering while making it difficult for me to prove it or get help. When I tried to report these crimes, I was dismissed as mentally ill. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, despite the fact that my experiences matched known descriptions of psychological torture methods, including voice-to-skull and directed energy weapon attacks. Directed energy weapons. The attacks I have suffered include the use of directed energy weapons that can target my body remotely. The effects include burning sensations and pain in specific parts of my body, pressure-like feelings as though something is pushing into me, sudden sharp pains that stop and start unpredictably, feeling my body heat up without any external source of heat. These attacks were not random. They were often timed to punish me for resisting, for trying to talk about what was happening, or even for trying to sleep. They made me afraid to be in my own home, or to be alone in certain places where I felt more vulnerable to attack. Voice-to-skull technology. One of the most terrifying aspects of my torture has been voice-to-skull harassment. This is not normal internal thought or hearing voices in the psychiatric sense. This is the experience of hearing external voices transmitted directly into my head. The characteristics of these voices include constant insults and threats designed to break me down, commands trying to force me to hurt myself or others, psychological manipulation, trying to convince me that my friends and family were plotting against me, threats about technology that could kill me remotely by exploding my heart, taunting me about how no one would believe me and I'd be written off as insane. This harassment was highly personalized and adaptive. It would change based on what I was doing or saying, proving that someone was monitoring me in real time. Acoustic modulation and sound harassment. In addition to voices in my head, I also experienced sound-based harassment in my environment. This included strange clicking or switching noises in other rooms, designed to make me paranoid about family members or visitors. Threatening, unintelligible or alien sounds that made me afraid to go to sleep. High-pitched tones or mechanical hums that would start and stop unpredictably. Noises that no one else seemed to hear, which undermined my credibility with others. Psychological manipulation. These methods were clearly designed to isolate me and break my spirit. Some of the psychological tactics used included convincing me my family members were involved, creating paranoia that could have led to violence, trying to provoke me to hurt others so that I could be arrested or locked away, trying to drive me to suicide with relentless harassment and threats. Timing attacks too when I was most vulnerable, such as late at night when I was trying to sleep. One of the worst experiences was at my grandparents' house, where I heard switches clicking in another room, designed to make me think they were conspiring against me. I realized afterward this was intended to set me up to harm them in fear, long-term impact. This torture has left me with severe PTSD, hypervigilance, nightmares, fear of being alone, emotional trauma, constant stress, anxiety, anger, distrust, social isolation, loss of friends and family relationships due to the manipulation and stigma, distrust of medical professionals because they repeatedly dismissed my experiences as schizophrenia. I am terrified of being hospitalized again, because mental health professionals label me as psychotic for reporting these experiences, rather than recognizing them as systematic torture. Efforts to get help. I've tried to get help from multiple sources. I reported these attacks to the police, but was redirected to mental health services who diagnosed me instead of investigating. I contacted Amnesty International and other human rights organizations, but received dismissive responses telling me to talk to the police. I have shared my story on social media to warn others about these technologies. I wear EMF protective clothing to try to reduce exposure, though I am not sure how effective it really is. I have reached out to doctors and therapists, including some who eventually admitted they believed my account was credible, but they too were limited in what they could do. My message: I want this testimony to serve as evidence. I am not mentally ill in the way people assume. I am a victim of a covert torture program using advanced technology that exists and is documented, even if it is denied or classified. I want to warn others that these technologies are real. They can and are being used to torture people while hiding behind psychiatric labels. I want to hold the people responsible accountable. I want to prevent this from happening to anyone else. I know this testimony will be dismissed by some as delusion. But I also know there are people out there who will recognize the truth in what I am describing. If you are reading this and have the power to help, please help. If you are a survivor like me, know that you are not alone. Daniel May.